Now to one of the swing states that could decide this election, Florida. It's a state run by my next guest, a Republican. Ironically, that could be very good news for the Democratic incumbent who sits in the Oval Office. That's because Florida's economy has been on a very noted turnaround. Unemployment falling, more people working. That real estate crisis there seems to be reversing. Rick Scott, the man making it happen, elected in 2010 in that big Republican wave. What he makes of polls that show Barack Obama's benefiting from all your hard work, or what?
You know, my daughter and my wife took belly dancing. So
did they really?
That was fun to watch.
Well, we'll bring it back anytime, Governor. So,
well, I think here's what's happening in Florida. I think the race is going to come down to one thing. If Governor Romney explains that his plan to get jobs going, it's no different than my race in 2010. All I talked about was what I was going to do to turn the economy around. And it worked. Unemployment's dropped faster than any other state, down 2.3%. Last month we were second to Texas in job creation. As you know, it's my competition there is Governor Perry. But if Governor Romney talks about jobs, he will win Florida. If he gets distracted, it'll be tough.
Well, he's been plenty distracted.
I'm optimistic that he'll put all of his effort into how he's going to get jobs going, because that's the biggest issue in our country. It's clearly still an issue for us in Florida. We've done really well, but we still have people unemployed. A lot better than what we were doing, but we still have a lot of work to do.
But you know, as you reminded me both at the convention and other times we've chatted, polls are fleeting and they're fickle. But it is interesting to me that in some of the states, swing states, the president has made inroads. And again, it could change overnight with these polls. In Ohio, in Michigan, in Wisconsin, in your fine state, all Republican governors, all practicing turnarounds, all utilizing policies that would appear to be an anathema to Barack Obama. But for now, the benefit seems to go to Barack Obama.
Well, I think it's incumbent upon Governor Romney to talk more about what he's going to do on jobs. I mean, whatever the issue is, if you talk to I go out all the time, listen to people around the state, and it's two things in our state. They want their child to get a great education, because you care about the American dream for your child, and two, you want a job or keep your job, get a job. It's all about those two issues. So at the presidency, what Governor Romney ought to be talking about, every sentence is about, here are my 3 steps, 5 steps, 7 steps to turn this economy around.
Yeah, but shouldn't he go, let's say you visit Florida, and it said, look what Governor Rick Scott has done, thanks to him, or whatever. If you go to Ohio, look what Governor Kasich has done. Thanks to him, we're turning things around. Go to Wisconsin, look at Governor Scott Walker. But he's not doing that, and many Republicans have argued he's just handing more ammunition to the president, who is benefiting from policies that I think you stated as well aren't his policies.
Well, I've never been involved in the presidential race, so I don't know how hard it is to talk differently in one state than the other. So maybe it's too difficult to be able to do that. I don't know. But what I do all the time is I said, look, if we've done well. We still have a lot of work left to do. If we want to do a lot better, we need to have the federal government do what other governors have done, Kasich, others, reduce taxes, reduce regulation, do basically what Perry's done for years. Keep taxes low, reduce regulations, streamline permitting processes, and you know what? Like business people.
But when you find it around, let's say, I know you're dismissing this argument, but if you follow this out by extension, Governor, then let's say the president is reelected, and it's based on swinging states like yours, where you and a lot of your Republican counterparts have implemented policies that are not the president's policies, the mirror opposite. Any lesson for the president, should he get reelected, over then the policies you would recommend he follow in that event? Unlikely, though you say it is.
Well, whoever gets elected, I'm hopeful for American families that they're going to reduce taxes. We can't have the highest corporate tax rates in the world and expect businesses to flock to America. We can't have more regulation than the rest of the world and expect businesses to flock to America.
By the way, what on the tax thing, Governor? When Mitt Romney said last week, I'm going to lower taxes, but I'm paraphrasing here, sir, it's not what it seems. I'm also going to take away a lot of deductions and exemptions. A lot of people said, whoa, maybe this tax cut won't be so big. Maybe you're not all we thought you were, that he got in another sticky wicket.
Well, we have to understand we're competing. So our businesses are competing with businesses around the world. We cannot have higher taxes. What we've got to look at is What are Canadian taxes? What are European taxes? What are the taxes in Vietnam? People are willing to open up businesses all over the world. We are competing for jobs. When you go shop, you don't say, oh, I'll only buy that product because it's made in America. You don't do that. So our companies, if we want our companies to succeed, they've got to be able to compete with Vietnam companies.
I know that, but if he's saying, Governor, that, look, I am on lower taxes, but it might not be what it appears because I'm also going to take away a lot of breaks and allowances, which is fine for a simplified tax code, et cetera. Does he risk alienating a base that didn't trust him, that he wasn't really serious about this big Reagan-like cut in taxes?
Well, my discussions with him has been that he understands we're competing, and he knows we have to reduce our taxes, and we have to make our companies...
Who do you think he was reaching out to?
Yeah, I think you have to ask him. I think
independent voters?
I don't know, but I think that he understands that we're competing, and so he understands that we have to have lower taxes. If we are going to have more jobs in America, and we want American businesses to do well, then we have got to have lower taxes than the rest of the developed world. If we don't, businesses are going to go out of this country.
Real quickly, as a former executive, a big healthcare executive, there's always a learning curve, we're told, for executives who then become governors or senators or representatives. Of course, it's a little different. A governor, you are an executive. What recommendation could you offer Mitt Romney should he become president of the United States? He already learned a little bit, certainly as governor of Massachusetts, but what would you tell him?
Oh, it's similar in that to do well, you have to talk to a lot of people and listen to a lot of people. It's different in that you've got a House and the Senate, and you have way more media. I mean, way more media attention. Probably the biggest difference is how much media you have. But just do what good governors do. You go out and listen to people. You try to bring people together. Again, you don't waver from what you believe in, lower taxes, things like that. But bring people together and see if you can solve some of the problems that way.
Governor, thank you very, very much. Governor Rick Scott.